Hi here, and we are back in Our Life Beginnings and Always, and this is my third attempt to record this episode. So hopefully this time nothing breaks. I don't have any weird video glitches that happen. We're just gonna roll with it and hope everything's fine. I've done testing and it looked fine, so it should be fine. We'll see. You found half of what must have been an impressive conch shell and a shimmering slice of sea glass. Hope gestured for you to take a look at his latest find. Right at the edge of the water, two nearly identical shells had washed up. You each took one and joked about having friendship shells now. It made you reminisce about how long you had known each other and how many times you've collected shells like this. You wondered how many times you'd find shells together in the future. The two of you had gathered quite a collection, combing up and down the beach. When Cove couldn't comfortably carry anymore, as his wetsuit had no pockets, you both sat down and went over your respective hoards. You traded a few shells for his, and he gave you a pretty spiral shell for your sea glass. It was a rewarding afternoon with a good friend. The setting sun was visible on the horizon. Every time you would look away, it had sunk a little lower. The beach was darkening, but still pleasantly warm. Cove pointed out the sunset. There was something particularly striking about it that day. When you glanced over at Cove, you saw a lazy smile on his face. Hey, what are you thinking about? Nothing exactly. It's just been nice. You picked up a shell and fidgeted with it. The inner part was smooth to the touch. I get that. You chatted a little more until the conversation truly died out, and all you heard was the rhythmic sounds of waves. Then Cove sighed. The day can't be over. Not yet. He scowled into the distance, as if the sun exiting the sky was a personal offense. Don't you think it should be longer? I think at this point, since we've established that me and Cove are actually friends now, I'll agree, yeah. Cove stood up straight in defiance of the approaching darkness. I'm not gonna go home yet. I want to go somewhere. I don't know. Cove was still dripping in salt water, so you weren't sure what the alternative was. Wetsuits were fine for the beach, and not much else. It wasn't a good idea for him to lug his surfboard around town either. Xander and Cove definitely don't have the type of relationship where they're comfortable flirting with each other like this, so I'm gonna say, yeah, I want to do something too. Cove nodded with a smile. Then he looked down the shore with its wide, shining eyes. There's at least one place it's always okay to hang out in, no matter what time it is. The park. You nodded. The park was virtually always empty. Even Elizabeth only went over there nowadays if she was looking for you. How times have changed. She used to be so protective of the place. In fact, the only person there was a chance of running into might be that Jeremy kid again. He brought the idea up to Cove and he cringed, but I'm still going. The sun is still there, a little. I'm staying out as long as it is. And for the sake of the plot, we're tagging along. Like a lost puppy. You tagged along. Okay, let's go. Cove took a minute to put his stuff in order. He made sure to get it all, though it didn't take much care to shake off the sand. You dealt with your own things. You took your time to pack your bag. The two of you finished at about the same time. You led the way down the beach to the park. It wasn't far, so it didn't take you long at all. The sun still hadn't completely disappeared just yet when you made your arrival. Cove stuck his surfboard upright in the sand and tossed his towel over top. By now, Cove looked mostly dry. The summer breeze on your skin kept you pleasantly warm. Cove idly went over to the monkey bars. He grabbed them, feet flat on the ground, and pretended to go across. He had definitely grown in the past few years. You could barely use the monkey bars yourself. There wasn't much space at all between you and the ground. When he got to a bar in the middle, Cove pulled himself up and through, then sat on top of the bars. His legs dangled off the side of the bar he perched on. You took a seat on the swing. You sat right down on a free seat and started swinging your legs, first slowly, but then adding more power to your kicks. Air rushed past your face and ruffled your hair. You built up enough momentum to let it carry you. It was a lazy arc, not high or fast. Perfect for having a conversation. Guess what? He smiled broadly and raised an eyebrow. He's not here. Right, that was true. There wasn't a single sign of Jeremy. Looks like it was just going to be the two of you tonight. Cove hung his head and groaned dramatically. Your eyes widened when he whipped his head back up.
No way!
I can't believe how dumb my parents are for forcing me to come to this stupid place. You were taken aback and blinked for a second before you realized he was quoting Jeremy. Don't scare me like that. One Jeremy is enough. Cove chuckled back at you, a mischievous glint in his eye. You looked around. The old park, the streets you knew like the back of your hand, the beach. These were your stomping grounds. You wondered how Cove actually felt. How much was his joke just a joke, and how much was sincere dislike of this place? Moving had never been his choice. You let the silence stretch between you two. He ended it. I don't blame Sunset Bird for my problems. You stared at him. Cove kicked his legs carelessly as they dangled. He smiled softly. I like it here. I really do. It's a nice place. He didn't hesitate. There was no uncertainty. That was his genuine opinion. You nodded wordlessly. A contented feeling fell between the two of you. It didn't take long for the day to finally draw to a close. The sun was gone, and it was dark. You chatted a while longer, but it was definitely winding down. You chose not to say anything. You sat in the dark in silence. Cove shifted his position so that his back was on the monkey bars, and he could look up at the stars. You wondered how comfortable that could be. Not at all. I cannot imagine that there's any comfortable position laying on top of monkey bars. They were not designed for this. Look at the moon. It's so clear tonight. You glanced up and saw a great gibbous moon swelling over the sky. Few clouds covered the sparkling stars above. Too bad we can't stay here forever. Cove sighed. It was time to go home. He hopped down from the monkey bars with a thump when his feet hit the ground. You stopped moving your legs and stood when the swing slowed down. The chains rattled and the swing smacked you a bit, its energy not entirely spent. Cove grabbed his surfboard and threw his towel around his neck. With his water bottle in hand, he was ready. You both began your trek up the road. It was a quiet night, and you didn't run into anyone else. In what felt like no time at all, you had reached your street. As you walked, Cove smiled to himself. It was a soft expression, and you couldn't help but wonder what put it there. Cove? I just remember when we were younger. It used to be such a big deal to come home after dark. You could indeed recall. If you got sandy, your parents would have something to say. If you got wet, your parents would have more to say. And if you came home after dark, well, your mom's and his dad better have said it was okay beforehand. You used to need permission for everything. That small comment he made exposed just how much freedom you really had this summer. Cove looked up into the sky, a smile still on his face as the two of you walked side by side, reminiscing. When you came to your houses, you turned to each other. Thanks for today, Xander. It was nice seeing you. Cove waved, and you both turned around to your respective houses. This was a pleasant end to the outing, you thought. And that's the end of Wave. Right? And as we agreed, or well, as I stated, as the authoritarian I am, last time, we're gonna go up, down, left, right, so to the mall. Lee's visit today turned out to be more involved than you expected. After overhearing where the Holden family was going, Lee insisted on seeing Mr. Holden shop firsthand. At long last, we know what Mr. Holden does. An hour later, and Lee was busy looking at every item on display. Because Cove's dad offered supplies, lessons, and tours, his shop had all the scuba-related stuff you could imagine. fins, masks, suits, and snorkels. So he's not a drug dealer. Got it. After circling around the shop, we finally stopped and looked at the whole room. I'm gonna say, since Xander's not really into snorkeling, that he doesn't usually tag along to the snorkeling shop. So this was the first time you'd been here too. The mystery was finally gone. Over the years, you'd heard bits and pieces about what Cove's dad did from Cove, Derek, and Mr. Holden, and now here you were, standing smack dab in the middle of it. I don't think Xander is gonna be, like, super excited about being in the middle of a snorkel shop, but I don't think he's gonna be, like, sour about it. So, you were in good spirits. This was a pleasant surprise. Something always came up whenever you might have had a chance to visit the shop before. You were happy Lee insisted on Mr. Holden bringing you both along today. Lee was still busy poking through the various wetsuits displayed, so you decided to see what Derek and Cove were doing. They were too absorbed in their conversation to notice you standing near them, leaning against the counter. You were able to pick up on the topic quickly.
Anyway,
My dad told me the new stuff is selling like crazy. Yeah, the material has this new blend with less neoprene. My dad says people are really interested in it. It brought a smile to your face hearing that the shop was doing well. We have pretty firmly established that Xander is a very quiet kid, so I think I'm just gonna stand off to the side and, like, be a part of the conversation by existing next to it. You decided to keep listening. It was interesting just to watch them speak about what they knew. But really, there's just so much to think about with a business. It's crazy. No matter how much I come, I still don't think I get it. Both hummed and nodded in agreement, causing a good-humored laugh from Derek. I thought you only liked the scuba diving part, not the job part. That's just the best part. I think about other things too.
I gotcha.
Cool. The business side, running it. That's my favorite. Out of the corner of your eye, you caught movement, and you realized that Lee was now standing next to you. When your dads retire, do you guys think you're gonna carry on the store? Both sons shrugged in unison.
Well,
There's tons of things I could do. My dad thinks so too. He doesn't want me to plan on working here forever. Cove's gaze fell to the floor. You could see the conflict flashing across his face.
I don't know.
I don't know. It's a lot, being the real boss of something and totally in charge. I suspect Xander does not have a lot of confidence. So, if my mom's had one, I wouldn't want to take over either. I can't run a business. That would be so much pressure. Would Elizabeth be helping? Would I do it all on my own? Just the thought of being in those shoes made your chest tighten. You hadn't felt like that since your last big school project was due. Yeah. Cove's parents left the back office and came over, catching your attention. Sorry, kids. It looks like it's gonna be a long one. I know usually others hold the fort down, but I really need to stay here today. I know you just wanted a little visit. It'd be boring to get stuck here all day, because of me. Kyra can take my car and go back to the neighborhood. Cove and Derek gave him an understanding look. Mr. Holden crossed his arms and flashed you all a big smile, trying to lift the mood. The one condition is that someone has to remember to come back for me later. You don't get to strand me here, no matter how funny that might be. I have a story about, so when I was younger, my family would frequently make the drive between Texas and Georgia. It takes about 14 hours, and on one of these trips, we were traveling overnight, and it was just me, kid, and my mom, because my dad was, long story, not gonna get into it, just the three of us that time, and my mom pulled off at a rest stop so that we could all run to the bathroom. And, you know, me and her finish up, get back into the car, and she starts driving away. And I happen to look into the back seat, I'm like, hey mom, where's kid? She slams on the brakes and like pulls back into the parking spot. And about that time, kid has finished his business and is walking back out to the parking lot looking very confused why the car moved. And, you know, we've never let her live it down since. Kyra laughed and gave a thumbs up. Mr. Holden seemed satisfied with that. He moved on with the explanation. Derek, your dad also has his hands full today, so he doesn't have time to run you back home.
It's okay.
That's alright, sir. The title Sir got an awkward chuckle out of Cliff, which was cut short when Kyra elbowed him teasingly.
What do you think?
You already said I could borrow your car. Why don't I take all the kids somewhere fun for the afternoon?
Absolutely.
That's fine with me. Just please, come back eventually. Sometime today, Kyra. After multiple jokes about being left with no ride, you had to wonder if that actually happened in their past together. For you, my good sir, I swear. Cross my heart. Happy with the promise, Cliff took out his black wallet and offered a $50 bill to Kyra. Are we sure this guy isn't a drug dealer? Here, in case you need gas or anything else while you're out. Kyra smiled knowingly and accepted the bill without hesitation.
Thank you.
Thank you. Cove's dad stuck the wallet into his back pocket while he waved with a free hand. Okay, time for me to jump back into work. Have fun for me. Bye, Dad. Bye. Bye, sir.
Bye.
Bye, Mr. Holden. Goodbye, sirs and madams. He left the room with a wink and a flare, disappearing into the employees-only area of the shop. When Mr. Holden was out of sight, Kyra silently strolled over to the counter and carefully placed the $50 bill there. She turned back around and beamed a large smile at you and the others. Come on, gang. Let's see if this town has them all.
Yeah!
Unable to contain her excitement, Lee actually jumped with joy, while Cove and Derek just grinned. There wasn't a mall in your hometown, but Mr. Holden's store wasn't in Sunsetbird. It might be possible to find a mall out here. You felt okay about that. A trip to the mall had never failed you. You nodded, deciding that today was going to be alright. Let's go. She quickly herded the group out of the store into the car.
Cove.
As the driver, I get to choose my partner in crime. Naturally, I bestow the position of shotgun to my baby. Her comment had both Derek and Lee snickering. Cove was for sure embarrassed over the phrasing and blatant favoritism, but he took the seat by his mom without complaint. You were fine with that. You got shotgun in your own car a lot. It made sense that he got priority here. I'll take the middle seat. Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want a window seat. You two can have them. Are you cool with that? You thought it was odd that anyone would give up a window seat, but you knew Derek tried to be especially polite when he was a guest. You nodded.
Fantastic.
Good. Sounds like we're all in agreement. Everyone squeezed into the car, buckling in, and Kyra turned the radio on. She set it to a top 40s pop station. You were into it. Quickly, you recognized the song playing. It was a new one by an artist you were listening to a lot recently. It wasn't long until your group realized that they were lost. But after driving in enough circles, Kyra's struggle paid off when she found a local mall. There were more cheers from Lee as Kyra pulled into a parking spot. Once your group had made it inside, the first order of business on this trip was checking what this mall actually had. Where should we go? Ooh, I think I see a makeup store up ahead. She rolled up on her tiptoes to get a better view. Meanwhile, Derek was eyeing the directory. There's a chocolate shop. Seriously, we have to go there. Yes, wait, and we need to find a decent jewelry shop. I need new hair ties and barrettes.
Nice.
We've also got to at least look for a game store. There's tons of things you can't get anywhere but a store that's just for video games. Oh, I miss the good old days when you could just wander around the mall and wander into the local GameStop and see things. I guess you still can, but it's just not the same. Hey, what are you thinking, Cove? I want to look at the fish in the pet store. You could have guessed that much. Anywhere else? He smiled with some bashfulness. The bookstore.
So...
What about you, Xander? Alright, we have established that Xander loves reading, so definitely we're gonna hit the bookstore. We haven't really established any interests outside of that. for him. So that might actually be all we do. And that's all that really interested you. That's certainly a list. Good thing we have all afternoon. Yeah. I have my own stops I want to make. Let's agree to regroup here at 7 p.m.
What?
You're not coming with us? We're all in the same building. You won't be as alone as you think. I'll only be a few minutes away at most. You're old enough to enjoy the mall without me hovering. Okay.
See you soon.
Be back here at 7 p.m. Toodaloo. Leaving Derek and Lee stunned by their newfound freedom, Kyra walked off. When she was almost out of sight, Derek's face twisted in confusion. Wow, she's really gone. I can't believe she just did that. This is so cool! We get to do whatever we want. You felt unsure about the situation. Was this really okay? Is it me, or does it feel weird to be at the mall without a parent there? My moms wouldn't have done this. It's not just you.
Trust me.
It'll be okay. We're here together. And she's not gone for real. She'll be somewhere around. With the decision already made, Derek tried to pull together his earlier enthusiasm for the trip. So where are we going first? Time's a-wasting. Whatever's closest. Things were coming together, but you realize there might be a flaw in today's sudden plans. What's wrong, Xander? Did everybody bring money with them?
Yeah.
Yep,
Yeah.
I did. I always have some on me when I come all the way out here. You had money too. Immediately you felt better about the situation. It would have been a downer to not be able to even think about something at the mall because they didn't have money. I'm good. Now that everything was squared away, you explored the mall together as a group. There were many shops that you managed to venture into so far. You all even went into a bookstore, leaving with a pep in your step. This was better than you thought, and there was still so much to see. After having hit many of the top priority stores, you found yourself passing by a small booth. It was decorated in wind chimes of various sizes. You raised a hand up to one of the smaller ones. What sparked your attention next was Cove. You thought for sure he was going to stop at the booth by the way he looked at it, but he kept going. Do you want one? It wasn't until Lee asked that you realized that you had stopped in front of the booth without saying anything. Lee just continued to encourage you. You should get one. I'm just looking. It's nice to check stuff out. Lee hummed in agreement and then stared past the booth. Following her gaze, you saw that the boys were already wandering too far ahead. Let's go. After leaving another clothing store, one that Lee couldn't resist exploring, you and your friends found yourselves walking down the main hall of the mall again. It wasn't long until everyone you were with had their eye on the smoothie kiosk ahead. Should we stop? Yeah. As you approached, your eye was drawn to the dizzying list of smoothie combinations. A part of you wondered how long it would take to try them all. Too long. Don't try. Hi there, do you need the rundown of how this works? Yes, please. Okay, first off, you pick up to 3 options of fruit or berries. Then I'll add the ice and the store's special smoothie base mix, and then you'll have your very own smoothie for $4. There's only one size. Cove leaned over the counter a bit. For several moments, he intently studied the plentiful fruit and berry options. I want to get a strawberry banana smoothie, with coconut too. Sounds good. Is anyone else getting something? Can I get one that's just all mango? Of course.
Thanks.
I'd like strawberries, blueberries, and raspberries for mine. Thanks. That sounds nice. I wish I could have raspberries. The shopkeeper looked at you now. You wanted one. Could I get 10 billion options? Alright, let's go. I've been in a peach mood lately. I think I just miss having access to peaches. And then most of these don't really pair well with peach. So I think I'm gonna go for strawberry, and that's gonna be it, because otherwise it's gonna get weird. At that, everyone went ahead and paid for their individual drinks. He waited over at the other side of the booth where the drinks were put when they were done. Derek bounced on his feet, excited for his to be ready.
Aw.
This is gonna be good. Lee chimed in with her own enthusiasm. Everybody says their smoothie-based stuff can make any drink great. Cove, while quieter, looked just as eager for his smoothie. Luckily, there hadn't been anyone else before you, so it wasn't a long wait. Your group collected the fresh drinks as they were placed on the counter. Straws were placed through the opening at the top of the cup, and the first tentative sips were had. Derek sighed in satisfaction after his taste. Mango was too delicious. Mine is super good too. Cove nodded and hummed in agreement. His straw was still in his mouth. You were really happy with yours. This is perfect. Cool, we all made excellent choices today. Yeah. I think because we're crushing on Derek, we're going to try to steal some of his smoothie, or like ask if we can. You asked if you could try a Derek smoothie. Can I have a sip of yours, Derek? You can. He held his cup out for you to take it, but instead it was easier to just lean forward and take a sip from his straw. He blushed slightly at the gesture. Eee! That is good, Mango. Thanks. You're welcome. You were satisfied with that. As your group continued to wander the mall, you came into an area in the path that was wider. Hell yeah. In the center of the opening was a collection of quarter-operated ride-on machines. Derek stopped as soon as he saw them, smiling ear to ear. I want to ride. I think we might be too big.
No way.
No way, we're not that old yet. He eagerly headed over to the machines, wanting to get a better look. Lee went along too, smiling. And I'm going to leave y'all in suspense as to whether or not we ride one of the machines, because we are officially over time, like literally just now. So thank you so much for watching. If you have enjoyed, please leave a like and a comment if you have something to share, and subscribe if you have not already. And if you would like to support me financially, please go check out my Patreon. For as little as $1 a month, you can get early access to all of my regular videos. And for everyone else, I just hope to see you again in the next one.